Hello and welcome to Board Game Gumbo. Today we're unboxing Not Alone by Stronghold Games. This is a game for 2 to 7 players that plays in about 30 to 45 minutes. It's a hidden movement style game. So here we have the rule book. We have essentially the scoreboard. The way this works is that there are 2 factions in the game. There's the astronauts that are trying to escape the planet, and they start over here on one of these numbers depending on the number of players. And then you have the creature that is on the planet who's trying to absorb the life force of the astronauts, and they will start on this side. And whichever side gets to the star first will win. We've got a couple little poker chips here. These are for the creature's special abilities. So this is the creature himself. This will be where he determines where he goes each round. He'll put that out somewhere. And then he's got certain abilities that allow him access to these 2 poker chips as well, which will have various other effects. We've got a bag of pieces here. So these are just to denote where the different factions are on the board. So this will be, the astronauts, and then the purple one will be the creature. And then you've got cubes for the health. The astronauts have a certain amount of health that they have. Once they've lost all their health, they're consumed by the creature, and he'll advance on the scoreboard, but they do come back into the game. There's no player elimination. And then we've got one more little wooden token, which I'll explain in a second. The rest of the game is just based off of cards, and it's fairly straightforward. It's hidden play, so each player will get a deck of cards, and those cards at the beginning of the game will go from 1 to 5. So each player will have one of these cards, and these are different locations that they can go to. And at the beginning of each round, each player is going to look at their hand, pick one of those cards, and secretly play it in front of them. That's the location that they are going to. There'll also be cards out here laid out, like so. And once all of the astronauts have decided where they're going to go by playing their card face down, then the alien will decide what location he's going to. So let's say he's going here. Then all the astronauts will reveal their card, and then you'll resolve them. Resolving them essentially means if you're at a location that the alien is not at, or one of his special abilities is not at, then you'll take the action of that location. And they each give different actions. If, like this player, you've gone to the location that the alien is at, then you've been caught, and not only do you not get to take the action of that location, but you're also going to lose a certain amount of health. After the astronauts have played, the card that they did play is going to go to a face-up discard pile. So the alien is going to know where you've been, and it'll be able to narrow down the possible locations that you can go to after that. Of course, there are cards that you can play that, as long as you get to activate the location, allow you to draw your cards back to your hand. There are more locations than just the 5 out on the board. There's actually a total of 10 locations, but the players don't start with these cards in their hand. These cards will start on the board in kind of a collective pile, and then the rover, the 5 card, if they go there and activate it, is actually when they can take these cards into their hand. And there is a limited number of them. You can't have multiples, so if one player gets all the 6s, then no other player will have 6s. The creature also has cards of his own, so he's going to have a certain number of cards in his hand, and then each round he can play one of them. And they have numerous different effects. They take effect in different phases of the game, but essentially you'll see that this one, the clone card, allows him to put out this poker chip as if it's another one of these poker chips. So essentially he's at 2 locations this round. Some of the other ones force opponents to show you their hands. Some of them just prevent that location from being activated if somebody goes there, and so on and so forth. And at the end of the round, if you've played one, you'll draw back up. I believe you always have 3 in your hand to pick from. The astronauts will have these cards, these sort of gadget cards, or not certain exactly what they're called in the game, but these are just like the monster cards. They give them special abilities that happen in specific phases. This one, for instance, in phase 3, which is the phase where all the astronauts flip their card face up, a player could play this card to move the alien. So if this guy was going to get caught and you really want to stop that from happening, you could play this card and then move the alien to an adjacent location. Hopefully that doesn't mean that the alien just caught another one of your allies, but that's something that you can do. Every player is going to start with one of these. There are ways to get more of them, but it's something you have to make an effort to do. It's not like the creature, you don't get one every round. And then the last thing you're going to get is just a couple cards to define the different phases, just little cheat sheets that let you know what the different poker chips that the creature has and what happens when you lose all your health. And that's it. That's everything you're going to get in Not Alone from Stronghold Games.